So this is really exciting. My sister Emma and myself have been working on a project for this whole year, so we're now just about to come into August, on opening our own store. So some of you might know this, some of you who are close to me kind of know that we've been waiting for this for a few months now. We're a little bit behind schedule, but we're all moving in the right direction. So our exciting project is called Bota Bar and Grocer. So Bota is short for botanics. So it's a botanics bar and grocer, and it's a beautiful hub of things that I love and my sister's come to love. Living with me, I think I've forced a lot of this lifestyle onto her, but you know, we've kind of designed a lifestyle out of this that has seen our health get better and many other things within our lives. So for me personally as a practitioner, I would love, you know, I'm loving the idea to bring this to everybody else that I really love and care about. My sister is the business mind. I would not be able to do this without her. She has a wealth of experience in running staff and running businesses and the back end kind of finances and how to do all of that kind of stuff. So I'm not great at that. That's not my forte. So it's a perfect match really, and something that's really, really exciting. So very shortly, so Emma and Mum are in there today painting, so we're almost there. Got a couple more things left to do, the floors to be laid, the plumbers need to come and get the sinks in, but it's so close, and it's so exciting, and we're still both shitting ourselves, but we're almost at that point where we're ready to open the doors. So the whole concept of what we're trying to create here at Bota Bar and Grocer, so it's a health food store, natural medicine clinic and tonic bar. So the tonic bar is a little bit of a pet project of Emma and myself. So we really love creating. We've always been creative type of people. So I love cooking and I love food. My sister's creative in everything that she does. Art, clothing, painting, sculpting, everything she touches, she can create something amazing out of it. So she's been phenomenal at getting into the kitchen and trying all these amazing recipes, and you know, with suggestions from me on all these wonderful things to use. So we really wanted to create something that brought a fusion of health supplements and health foods into food, so making functional foods. So all of these, you know, some of these herbs and things behind me here, we're finding wildcrafted herbs and organic herbs and things that we've sourced from around the world because we can't grow everything in Australia. You know, lots of amazing blue, green powders and algae and matches and golds and medicinal mushrooms. And we're putting these all together into amazing recipes. So it's not just it's not just good food, but on a functional nutritional level, it's a supplement in a whole food form. So we've got juices and smoothies and bowls and little snacks that we're creating with amino acids. So I love to compound, and I'm actually shooting from my compounding station. So I'm looking at all of my things in front of me here. And I'll be mixing them into these different products that we'll be making, to really kind of help bring extra benefit to the foods that we're creating. Because unfortunately these days our soil is not what it once was. We grow things with synthetic fertilizers. We spray them with pesticides and herbicides, and the air that we're very lucky in Australia. We don't have a hell of a lot of visible pollution. It's still there, but things aren't what they used to be. So things aren't as healthy as they used to be, and a lot of the nutrition panels on what we think about high vitamin foods, grains, typically we thought of as high vitamin B, but grains also throw off this thing as pretty much colloquially we call it an anti-nutrient. So it's like a lectin. So it's something that causes an inflammatory reaction in some people, and it makes it very difficult for them to break it down, absorb it, and actually get any nutrients out of it. And plants do that for a very good reason. They do it as a way that they can propagate in the wild. So they throw off these chemicals to make sure that animals don't eat them so that they can survive. We don't worry about that. We just eat everything. So, you know, and there's cases, you know, particularly with beans and legumes, that if you don't cook them properly, they're very dangerous, and cases where people have died because beans have not been cooked properly. So once again, you know, and lectins kind of come under a couple of different categories. So these anti-nutrients, oxalates, phytates, salicylates, amines, there's a whole list of them. And these are certain things that some people are quite sensitive to. So frank allergy will cause an allergic reaction, but most people have just low-grade inflammation. There's certain things that they're doing which is keeping that inflammatory fire internally burning, and it's stopping them from really achieving good health. So, you know, this is the stuff that I love to test for in clinic and kind of really get to the bottom and finding out, you know, when we're putting all that good stuff in and we're setting a great foundation for health and we're plugging the holes in the bucket, but we're still not getting resolution, I really dig deep into the foods that we're eating. Because sometimes, whether we're having a frank intolerance or it's just, you know, it's still scratching the tissues underneath and making them red and inflamed, we need to find these things out and pull them out so we can get good, you know, vibrant health. But, you know, in lieu of all of this, actually packing more nutrition into foods is kind of where a lot of my passions have grown into, because food is something that we eat every day, and you'll hear me say this many times, as much as I love supplements, for a lot of people they shouldn't be on them long term. Some people do need them, but a lot of times we just need some support to get us back to a good level, and we can feed it with good food. But that's the problem. Where do we get this good food from now? You know, organic foods are starting to become a little bit more available. They're still relatively expensive, and hopefully we see more investment into the organic market. So, you know, kind of bringing these prices down would be supporting more organic farmers to be able to do that. But at the moment it's still fairly expensive, and a lot of the foods that we do see in supermarkets, they were picked when they were unripe, they were ripened under gas, they were cold stored, and then they're displayed under big fluorescent lights, which change, you know, fluorescent lights change our nervous system and our cellular structure, and they do the same thing to plants and vegetables. So even when you look at that small snapshot of food, what are we really getting from it? You know, it's got some colours, and I mean, I'm sure everyone knows now that disappointment when you bite into an apple and it's powdery and awful. And you can just taste, there's like no nutrition in that. You know, a food needs to ripen on the tree for it to gain maximum amount of nutrition. And we're just, you know, because of agricultural production and getting food out onto the shelves, we don't allow that process to happen anymore. So how do we maximize this? You know, what can we do to help add more nutrition to the foods that we're already eating? You know, there are amino acids and antioxidants and phenolics and beautiful like gut substances, aloe vera, slippery elm, arabinogalactans. There's all these amazing things which we can add to food. We can cook with some of them, and we can add things at the end of the cooking stage, or we can use them cold, use them in raw, and we can add things like quercetin and you know, just beautiful antioxidants to add this extra benefit. You know, particularly with, you know, children, but I mean all through our life phase. You know, we need more. We're not getting it, and we're getting sicker because of it. So out of that passion has born our beautiful little tonic bar. So it's going to be really nice and exciting to be able to play around in creating amazing recipes and some little things to be able to snack on that aren't just for energy to give you a boost, but are actually packed full of nutrition. You know, all these little things from my compounding station, and I'll show you this compounding station at some stage. You know, to be able to add into these recipes, you know, making little, you know, bite-sized morsels of absolute goodness to give us a lift. You know, add magnesium and zinc and some, you know, some beautiful amino acids. And you know, I'll be going a little bit more into amino acids in, you know, future videos, just to give you an idea about the absolute benefit that they can give our health. So yeah, so welcome to Bota Bar and Grocer. As soon as it is open, you will know about it, because I will be screaming it from the hilltops. We're so close, and I can't wait to be filming from our store and saying hello to all of you amazing people. We're developing a website so that even if you can't get into store, you don't live on the Gold Coast, you can still engage with us anyway. And I've got a wonderful friendship circle of amazing practitioners from multi-modalities that I'll be sharing their wisdom with you. and just trying to help you upgrade certain areas of your life, because it's difficult. I know I spent years and years doing it. I didn't start studying naturopathy and all of a sudden I was healthy. That's not my story at all. And you know, for people who've known me for a long time, they know that I struggled with weight my whole life. I was overweight for most of my life, and you know, and I did some really horrible things to myself in trying to normalize weight. So I was that one, like many of you, who made all the horrible mistakes, and I punished my body and I sabotaged myself. And so I absolutely fully respect and understand just how difficult it can be to really transition over areas of your life. And the small things that we tend to not think about, you know, the makeup that we use, the body products that we use as women, you know, toxic sanitary products for women, you know, men typically work in these industries where they're exposed to a lot of toxins. You know, these guys who work in the mines, you know, even builders, you know, there's so many things that are around in our environment that weaken us daily. And so being able to add some benefit back, put in those antioxidants to, you know, get rid of those free radicals and reduce the inflammatory damage that's happening, and you know, so that we're not growing older and in pain and stiff and cranky and can't poop and all those horrible things that happen when your beautiful body stops working. So I really look forward to bringing you a whole lot of information, you know, teaching people how to make functional foods, selling them in our store so you can try them out and learn a little bit from us about, you know, some of the ideas we use to make them. We'll be running workshops and seminars and doing talks in store to really teach you how to take this knowledge home with you. You know, we really want to base a lot of our stuff around eco-certified, organic, fair trade, reduce waste. So we'll be, you know, building things like beauty bars and having things in bulk so you can come and reuse your own containers, because we just have no more capacity to litter our beautiful country and our beautiful world anymore. So, you know, let's start saving these things. You know, we've been planting a whole lot of beautiful organic herbs and things to use in our bar, but also to sell to you. So all of the glass jars that I've saved for however many